Today, at 4:22 p.m. local time, the world's most potentially dangerous volcano erupted. This occurred at the Taal Volcano in the Philippines, where after a short interval of increased degassing, several small explosions occurred due to a portion of the crater lake water flashing to steam and exploding due to the presence of shallow magma. Then, 280 seconds later, a batch of magma directly contacted the acidic water in the crater lake, generating an unusually powerful explosion. As hundreds or perhaps even thousands of tons of rock and lava were ejected in an instant, portions of the eruption plume which were too heavy to rise on a buoyant column of hot air collapsed back to the ground, generating a series of at least 500 degrees Celsius pyroclastic flows, with the hottest temperatures being indicated in bright red. Thankfully, these pyroclastic flows remain completely confined to the uninhabited Taal Island, although, interestingly, this eruption, which lasted for 11 minutes, slightly increased the level of its highly acidic central crater lake. The associated eruption plume from this event, which contained minor amounts of ash, continued to rise for the next several minutes, eventually reaching an elevation of 2,100 meters or 6,890 feet. What had just occurred was Taal's first eruption that ejected lava in several months and its largest individual explosive eruptive episode in 30 months, representing a low NVEI1 explosive eruption on the 0 to 9 Volcanic Explosivity Index. Taken into the context that a section of Taal Island has been experiencing renewed ground uplift since May of 2023, this might initially sound concerning. And yet, despite what rightfully can be measured as an increase in eruptive activity, us scientists not only don't expect a major eruption to soon occur, but also, for now, Phivolcs is not raising Taal's alert level. Why? Simply put, the geophysical data suggests that we are already past Taal's temporary maxima in eruptive activity. Its latest unrest, which saw an increase in sulfur dioxide emissions which can only be triggered by the presence of shallow magma, has rapidly declined since its first phreatic event on September 23rd. Earthquake and tremor levels have also continued to decline ever since, suggesting that no new magma is rising to shallow depths and that instead, what little magma there is at shallow depths has largely already erupted. This explanation can also be briefly summarized via this helpful chart. In fact, all of this recent activity is quite typical for Taal as a whole, since this volcano seems to produce tightly spaced clusters of eruptions in a several-year time span, only to be followed by little or no activity for the following several decades. And what do you know, ever since Taal's Plinian VEI4 eruption in 2020, this volcano has been undergoing another active period with tightly clustered eruptions that is still continuing at the present. More such small phreatic or phreatomagmatic eruptions have the potential to occur in the next several days to weeks, and I would only become concerned if sulfur dioxide emissions rapidly increased or earthquakes and tremor rapidly increased alongside a sudden drop in sulfur dioxide emissions. There still exists a lesser possibility that some form of weakly sustained eruption could occur, such as the 97-minute-long eruption observed on March 26 of 2022, but overall, the chance of this occurring is quite unlikely. Nevertheless, due to Taal's alert level of 1, entry to Taal Island and occupancy and boating on Taal Lake are still forbidden at this time. As a final note, I would like to thank this channel's patrons on Patreon and channel members on YouTube.